Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting episode related to the NFL, and we're going to follow the weeks and we're going to make everything happy for everyone, and we're going to give you predictions and stats and whatever. Actually, I'm not really doing any of that, but it's an intro. Welcome aboard. Let's get down into it, shall we? So, from last week to this week, I've improved slightly by going 9-7 this week compared to my 8-8 record last week. So, if good things happen, then maybe I'll go 10-6 for this week. That's the plan. I'd hope to. Looking back at some of the games I lost, most of them could have gone either way. Yes, I guess I was wrong on the Detroit Lions and the Tennessee Titans game. I was expecting a blowout, but I guess nothing makes sense anymore. That's life. We deal with it. Anywho, 17-15 for the year. Let's hope to get that around the 600, 700 area. Anywho, moving on. So let's break down to our normal category schedule, starting off with the most interesting game. A lot of games looked interesting to me. I mean, we have a bunch of divisional games going on, and we got some interesting rematches, and some all-around games that are interesting. But for some of you, this might be an obvious choice, but for my most interesting game, I have Minnesota heading to Carolina. Now, as we dig into this game, yes, Sam Bradford is a Vikings QB. He's more or less better than what a lot of QBs are. Now, AP is going to be gone for practically the rest of the season with that torn meniscus. I don't know injuries well enough, so he might only be out. I don't know how long he'll be out. And then we have Carolina coming off a blowout win against the Niners after suffering that missed field goal loss in Week 1. I'm expecting them to do well. I mean, this game, it could be close scoring, it could be a blowout, I don't know. But I feel like this will be a game people are going to want to watch. It'll be fun. See how Sam Bradford does against the Panthers defense, because they're similar to the Packers in a way. I would say they are. And if Sam Bradford can outperform Aaron Rodgers, I don't see why Sam Bradford can't outperform Cam Newton. Anywho, next game we have the most close scoring game. Again, this game is how close will the differential be. Week 1 there was a lot of games that were decided by 1 point. So, I mean, and then Week 2 was more or less a couple blowouts, a couple more than a touchdown win. A lot of them under. A bunch of interesting. For this one, I chose to go with divisional because divisional games are usually close. Sometimes, not all the times, because A, it's divisional, and B, since we're early in the week, people are going to want to fight for an early lead on their race to the division. So I went with the famous Monday night game for this week. Falcons at Saints. Now here, let me break it down. When these two teams played last year each, I believe the first one, Saints won by 10, and the second game on Week 17, the Saints won by 3. So I imagine closer games. The Saints, Drew Brees has gotten older, so time will only tell how they do. And Atlanta is off and on. It's hard to tell whether or not they're good. I mean, Matt Ryan, I respect him as a quarterback, personally, and Julio Jones is one of the best receivers out there. But then these are also two questionable defenses. So, hard to say how they'll do. I don't know. Personally, spoiler, I have the Saints edging this game out. But I also did that with the Raiders game and the Giants game. So, I am losing my Saints predictions. But I'm hoping the Saints step up against this divisional rival and beat the Falcons. And for my final category, I have the biggest blowout game. I looked into this game and I'm thinking different things to myself because, you know, this team that I have being blown out has done pretty decent. I mean, more or less. But now they're going to be actually facing a team that's slightly more better than the two teams they faced, because let's be fair, the Browns and the Bears are not really that good of teams to begin with. So it's not surprising that this team's done well. But I don't trust them against this week, so I have Steelers at Philadelphia. Carson Wentz, I respect him as a quarterback, he's done really well. And a lot of Cleveland players should say that they should have kept their draft picks to go for him. Because, let's face it, RG3 wasn't going to get far. I mean, a lot of us are not surprised he's injured. That's kind of how the things go. Pittsburgh's on a roll. A lot of people still favored them to win the AFC for the Super Bowl run. And I just don't trust Philadelphia. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the division. I wouldn't, but hard to trust right now. So I'm going to give Steelers blowing out Philadelphia on Sunday. That is all the categories for the day. My week 3 predictions. Some of these predictions might surprise you, some of them not. I don't know, take your pick. A lot of people have told me that I put some biasism towards some of my picks because I want certain teams to win. That's not entirely true. I mean, there are very few times where I will let my judgment slightly affect it, but nothing too big that it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, honestly, I can tell you right now, if this were predictions based off who I personally want to win, I'd have the Bengals and the Seahawks going 0-16 practically every year. And if I can, the Patriots do. But I'm not going to get that. So I kind of have to deal with it. I also have the Rams over the Bucks, but I think the Bucks are a better team than the Rams. I'd take the Lions over the Packers. And, of course, I want everyone in my division to lose. As a Ravens fan, I would like them to be the good team. So I'd rather have the Eagles over the Steelers. But, you know, you can't have everything you want. And I know for a fact that the Eagles are not going to be the Steelers. I say that now, but then again, they did beat the Patriots with a Tom Brady at that quarterback. So, you know, it's hard to predict. Hard to predict. But those are my predictions. And let's see if I can go 10-6. Post in the comments how you think my predictions are. I want to know how you think I'll go this week. That's everything for there. Time for our Super Bowl 51 prediction. Again, based off of week 2 and week 1, I guess, in some way, I have yet to see anything that has made me change my mind on who I think will go to the Super Bowl. It hasn't made me like, oh, this team will definitely do better than this team and go to that Super Bowl instead of them. So, like my previous weeks, I'm going to stick with Steelers versus Panthers. And that will be everything from me today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in week 4. Have a good day. Bye-bye.